Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to Ableton Time. Today I want to take a look at and break down the title track off of Viridian EP, Viridian. So basically, yeah, we're just going to kind of hop in here, take a look at some of the stuff I was doing there, and some of the techniques that are popping up a lot over the course of the rest of the EP. And also, this is the only track on the album with vocals on it, so we'll kind of dive into how I was mixing and comping those as well. So yeah, let's just hop right into it. Okay, so this track, similar to Dehydrated Pizza Face, was built off of a chopped up piano loop. Um, so this is where it originally started. Let me see if this pitch that back up to original. So yeah, you kind of get the idea of that. So yeah, I pitched it down a little bit, sped it up a bit, and I just chopped out a bunch of the little transients. I reversed a couple sections and like had it swell into it. But yeah, so yeah, this is kind of what I ended up with after that. And then to build off of that, I just took the chords that are happening there, and I just had some basic little stabs going on here just to beef it up a little bit as the song got into the main section. So yeah, that just gives it a little bit more character, a little bit more wonkiness. The hi-hats on this are just a basic little loop. It's a fun little shaker thing. I've also got that little fill. So yeah, the drums are pretty simple throughout the whole track. It's just a little bit of this kind of like slow D&B groove. I've got kind of like a wood block type sound going on with the snares. And then later on, I think I also layer in some claps just for some extra energy later on in the song. The kick is just a pretty standard kick. Simple groove, which if I was going to leave this as an instrumental, I think would have left the song a little boring overall, but it leaves enough room for the vocals to kind of be doing stuff. Yeah, so as it gets into the main section here, I have these it's a very simple just super saw, just a little saw wave detuned, the LFO modulating the cutoff there, and also rising as it goes, so it gets a little more sustained as it gets longer in the note. And also in this section, you're getting that same the same bass that I've been using all across all of my tracks. That sine wave with some noise, distorted to fuck, and compressed. Yeah, so I basically played most of this pretty straight, pretty chill. I have this one synth going on that's kind of a it's very in the background, transitional type synth. It's also got this noise unison thing going on. Pretty much exactly the same type of construction, just somewhere in the middle in that wavetable. Heavy noise unison. It's just got a really long attack on it. Without the EQ, it just sounds like that. But then I added a EQ sweep on it. And I don't know, it just adds a little bit more flow to the end of some of those bars, you know? Yeah, so just like little things like that can kind of help like smooth the transition into other bars. It's a little nice. When we get into this main like chorus drop section, I just have these two synths mirroring a lead that I wrote. There's this one thing that I really like to do in wavetable for a lot of my leads and stuff like that. That's just you know, basic shapes on the high end of the wavetable here. Do another one like an octave up. It sounds good whether it's on the high end or if you have just a sine wave, and then just using the noise unison cranked up to about 50%. And it makes a interesting, yeah, just very noisy little synth. And it's generally not perfect on its own. It's a little too noisy. So I just got this little just a solo lead synth from Splice to layer on top of it. I think together that has like a good little bit of character. And then yeah, throughout all of here I just have like a bunch of different basses that bunch of different bass samples that I took off of Splice, and some that I have written in MIDI that I'm kind of trading through. I've chopped up and pitched around a fair amount of these. That's just a little fart sample. Yeah, I think this was like run through a vocoder or something probably. Yeah, some of these I like resampled through a vocoder, I think, and then re-chopped back down. So yeah, this track started out as an instrumental. I did not have any of these vocals here, and I was just using these vocal chops. Which are just, yeah, just another sample I was chopping up. But basically, I wrote this, and I, as I do with a lot of my tracks, I just kind of am sending it to some of my friends as I'm writing it. To see what they think about it. And yeah, ALYSSUM, the vocalist on this track, just kind of hit me with a message. Was like, yeah, I was just kind of messing around on top of this. What do you think? And yeah, they sent me a phone recording of just like the song playing in the background and them singing into the phone. And I like crudely attempted to EQ the song out of the background and chop this on top of it. And it sounded pretty decent just like that. It was like a little rough, but I mean it was like on a fucking phone. But yeah, I hit them up. They ended up writing more lyrics to the song. Got them to come over, and we tracked a bunch of stuff for it. So basically, what we did for this was just for every part of this, we tracked 5 different tracks, 2 in like the normal like middle range for her, that I could pan hard left and right for stereo. And then yeah, we had these 3 tracks. We had the kind of like normal range, an octave higher, and then one that was just kind of trying to hit different harmonies in between there. And then just sang the entire song with all of those tracks, so I could kind of just chop different parts out of that where I liked to accent different things. So like in this beginning part, keeping it a little bit more bare, and then at the end of certain lines kind of accenting it with the harmonies. You know, in this one we're doing like the first part of the line is just there, and then the second part of the line is harmonized, and then the first part of the line again is just the low and the high, and then the second part again is harmonized. Just trying to do stuff like that. And then in these parts, you know, saying like going from low to the harmony to the high, just kind of doing stuff like that gives a little bit of movement to the vocals. And then with your stereo here, don't have it going all the time. Again, a lot of this is just accented either on like the first couple words or like the last couple words of the line, just to give it a little bit more punch in that outer field at certain times. Yeah, and then like later in the song, some of the vocals started getting, you know, like a little bit more glitchy, so I just kind of like, we would only have this lower harmony going, and I just kind of chopped up the vocals manually a bit, and then we bring in this harmony, and I would just kind of select a little bit here and duplicate it like that, you know. And yeah, you just kind of keep stacking the vocals like that. And then yeah, this section is just the earlier chorus, but only with the last bits of vocals, and I'm kind of trading off which register vocal is getting glitched out at a time. Kind of gives it an interesting little gives a little interesting effect, especially because the harmony and the high are panned in opposite directions just ever so slightly, so it just kind of and during that the entire time before that, this bass has kind of been just hitting little tiny eighth notes and stuff, but here it just really starts opening up and going hard. These little vocal chops at the end actually are mostly comprised of this is mostly stuff I did at the beginning. All the purple clips are from the phone recording, actually. There were chops that I did back in the test version, and I just liked them so much I didn't want to go back and try to recreate them from the find where I had pulled those original chops from and stuff and redo it, but and I think they kind of have a quality to them, you know, with the degraded recording, you know. They sound like dusty and shit, I don't know. But yeah, the yellow clips are from the newer song. You know, for mixing on the vocals, I'll be totally honest, I'm not super competent in this area. This is like one of the first times I've ever done vocal mixing. I think I did an okay job, but you know, I'm sure there are other people who can give much better advice than me. Essentially, I just kind of have on each of these tracks, I have Melodyne doing pitch correction. I have a little bit of an EQ to kind of brighten it up. Take out the lows. Got a glue compressor to even it out a bit. De-esser, trying to calm down some of the sibilants, and then I just have a vocal presence EQ on each of those tracks. And then overall, I have a denoiser and a de-esser, another glue compressor, vocal presence again, OTT, and then just a bit of sidechain. Just a really tight sidechain, just for a little bit of dipping. And then I have like another hard EQ, just so nothing's going under like 100 hertz. Nothing crazy. Again, I'm sure there are other people who can give much better advice on vocal mixing, but you know, take from that what you will. I did forget also, there's this one bit near some of those that ending vocals where I have a bunch of like reverse reverby effects going on, where basically I just kind of took the vocal samples here, and reversed them and then ran them through a reverb. And you just resample that down and reverse it. Yeah, and you can kind of get that weird spooky vocal shit. And then this one, I think I just kind of pitched it down an octave on formant shifting mode.
One breath.
That's where I got some of those kind of like spooky vocal chops. Yeah, then I just kind of have a couple swells in here to help some of the transition into these chops. Adds a bit more, yeah, just a little bit more movement there. Yeah, so it just kind of helps like swell into it there. Yeah. But yeah, this was definitely a fun one to work on. I definitely don't write music that's typically friendly to vocals, I feel like. But it was really fun to work with a vocalist on something like this. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this track too. Let me know if there's anything I can cover in more detail in the comments down below. This is mostly just kind of a broad overview of the stuff that's happening in these tracks. But yeah, if there's anything that I can go more into detail about, I'd like to know about that. Maybe make some more specific videos. But yeah, that's about all I have for today. So have a good one.
So high, like I'm seeing sights that I've never ever seen before. Climbing flights of a staircase, spiral.